Hi guys, this is cycle 3, month 1, week 3. So next week will be, the end of next week will be strike test. So we're going to start with warm up. We're going to start with, I'm going to be really careful back here because the socks on the wooden floor are slippery, but you're going to run back and forth, touch, and touch. And then punches. Make sure you keep your hands up and you keep your feet moving. Okay, next one, you're going to shuffle. So you're going to start back here and you're shuffling. Just feet together and apart, down. I keep thinking that this is going to work. And then you don't see enough of my feet. And back. And down. And back. And then knees. Make sure you keep your standing knee bent when you do this. Other side. And last one, I'm starting back here and I'm shuffling forward and back with punches. And then kicks, front, side, back. And then right back to the very beginning, we run. Punches. And then we're going to shuffle side to side and back. Knees. Other side. And then shuffling forward and back with punches. Kicks, front, side, back. Okay, so if this is your first workout of the day, you can be done with the warm-up. If it's not your first workout of the day, do that segment. So one more set, running, shuffling, forward, shuffling with punches, or 2 more sets. And then grab a drink if you need it, and come on back, we'll stretch. So stretch, reach up. And I'm not just putting my hands up, I'm reaching for the ceiling, like trying to put my hands against the ceiling. And I push my hands down and reach for the floor. Over to one side, grab your ankle, pull your chest to your knee. And down in a side stretch. Turn. Make sure your ankle is out past your knee. Stretch your hip flexor. Straighten out your legs. All of my toes are pointing that way. Chin is up. Legs are straight. Back is flat. Lean my chest down towards my front knee. I should feel it primarily in the hamstring of the front leg, a little bit in the calf of the back leg. Up to the center, toes straight forward, push your knees out. And other side, grab your ankle. Down in a side stretch. And turn, stretch your hip flexor. Have a seat. One foot out in front of you. Take the other one, cross it, your foot over the opposite knee. If you can pull this knee in and keep both butt cheeks on the floor, do it that way. If you can't, keep that leg out. Whichever knee is up, the opposite elbow goes on the outside of it and pushes it across. Other side. Okay, then I'm going to put the bottoms of my feet together as if I'm doing a butterfly stretch. And if you can do the butterfly stretch, don't grab your toes, grab your heels. And if you can, rock them a little bit so that your knees are coming up and down and tagging the floor. If you can't, put one hand down to stabilize and just push the other knee, pulse it up and down. And then the other side. Feet out in front of you. Okay, wide straddle or not, I don't care. But the goal here is elbows to the floor. My toes are not pointed. They're straight up to the ceiling. My chin is up. And I'm reaching my elbows for the floor. Keep your chin up. If you round like this, it's a different stretch, which is not what the one I want you to be doing right now. Pull your feet in. Squat. Okay, my heels are on the floor here. rock back and forth a little bit. If you still have trouble doing this, now we're what, like 5-6 months into this, working out at home, it means that your Achilles, your calves are tight. More time in bare feet or in shoes that are completely flat so that there's no difference in height between the heels and the toes. Then put your hands down and straighten out your legs. And up. Okay, so a little bit of conditioning now. The first one we're doing, you got to remember which side you're doing it on, because the next set you're going to do on the other side. So you're going to throw a knee and then turn and lunge. Get in the habit when you do lunge of keeping your hands up so that your head's always protected. Okay, next one. Sit up with a jab cross. So when I do the sit up, I am never laying completely down and I'm never sitting all the way up. I'm just coming, so just my shoulder blades just tag the floor, and I just come to 45 degrees, jab cross. Next one. The list is over here next to my phone, and I can't see it that well. So next one you're going to do is just push ups. However you want your hands to be. I don't care if you're on your toes or on your knees, but in either case, your back is straight. No butts out here, and this isn't a push up. Okay, now we're going to do knee lunge on the other side. So you got to remember which side you did. I think I went that way. So I'm going to go this. I think I went this way. So I'm going to go this way this time. Knee and lunge. Okay, next one. We've been working on these. Hopefully you've got the coordination down for them now. These are called dead bugs. So I'm on my back, feet are up, hands are up. One hand goes down, one foot goes down, and the opposite hand. And I'm too close to the couch. And last one is dips. If your wrists bend, ideally, you're gonna have your fingertips facing your toes. My wrists don't bend. So I gotta actually do these fingertips. But I'm here, tabletop, and the motion comes from my elbows. So I'm working my triceps. If your lower back will not tolerate this, you can do this, but make sure if you're doing this, that you're not doing this, that you're actually using your triceps and not your core muscles. This is not a sit-up, it's an arm exercise. Okay, so if your muscles are not sore, do another set and then come back to me. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do, these are sit-outs. We worked on these Tang Soo Do, we worked on these last week. AK, I think I've done them with you in live class. I don't know that I've done them with you in video yet. So when I do a sit out, I put my feet on the floor and I put my hands on the floor. This is not push-up position. My butt's way in the air. And what I do, I'm going to pick up one hand, touch the opposite leg. Now that leg that I'm touching is going to shoot through this hole that I made. And up, other hand comes up, shoot through the hole. Okay, if you don't have it, stop the video, rewind it, watch it again, keep going. Okay, so why would we use, what's the point of the tripod? It's a get up. And if you get knocked down, you want to defend yourself and you want to get away before the person who knocked you down chases you down, but you also want to be moving your head away from them. So if I get up like this, okay, if I'm coming this way, look where my head is. If I get up this way, my head is coming towards the person who knocked me down. If instead I get up this way, okay, so this is the tripod that we did. I'm going to take this hand and put it down, and I do my right hand because I want my left side forward when I get up. It doesn't really matter which way you go. And I'm going to, so my right hand is down, so my left foot is planted. So left hand is up, opposite foot steps back through the hole, and I come to my guard stance. So going in the same direction as you, if I don't break my neck on the slippery floor. My right hand is down, my left foot, my opposite foot is down. So this hand is up, this is the opposite leg. I'm just doing the second half of the tripod. Push back and stand up. Okay, so we're gonna do break fall. The wooden floor, I'm not gonna do break fall when I'm standing up. My spine is happy the way it is. But you still gotta remember these things. And if you're in the Karate Kids class, you've said this a million times. And if you're in the Tang Soo Do class, you've heard me say it with the kids. When you do a back break fall, your butt hits first, then your back, then your hands. Your head never hits. You keep your chin tucked. So you do your back break fall from here. My chin is tucked. My butt hits, it's already there. My back hits, and then my arms hit. I want my arms to slap out down here. If they slap out up here, I'm gonna hurt my shoulder. So I'm gonna start here. Butt, back, hands. Butt, back, hands. Butt, back, hands. Okay, then we're gonna do, from the ground, you can do a side kick. So when I do a side kick on the ground, I'm gonna come here, I'm in the guard stance. This hand is up, it's protecting my face, and I'm doing a side kick. That shoulder does not like being the one on the ground. Here's my side kick. Okay, for more power, I'm gonna pick this hip up off the floor and push in to what I'm doing. So we're gonna put all those things together. Somebody knocks you down. You do your back break fall. Butt, back, hands. I turn here. I throw a side kick. This hand's already down. Plant that foot, step back, and I'm ready to go. So let's do that again. From here, butt, back, hands. Elbow down, side kick. Plant that foot, step back, and you're up in a guard stance. So what I'd like you to do is find somebody in your house who can do that with you. Have them push you, not hard, especially if they're working on a wooden floor. Have them push you. Do your break fall. They walk towards you. You kick them. Don't kick their knees. And then get up with your tripod get up before they tag your head. Okay? So I want you to practice that with who's ever in your house. Then we have one more thing we're going to do. And this is back to wind your body back up a little bit before we go on and do some more karate stuff. So lunges. When you do a lunge, you can step whichever way you want. You can step forward or you can step back. I tend to step back because when you do your lunge, you want this knee to be over the ankle. So you have a 90-degree angle here. If you're out this way, it stresses your knee. And I just find it easier to put myself in the position that I need to be in order to, if I step back rather than forward, I end up in the position I want to be. Doesn't matter if you're more comfortable doing going forward, that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to do 5 lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 front kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 front kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you have a heavy bag in your house, what you should be doing now is put the heavy bag out. Do your lunges, hit the heavy bag with the 5 front kicks. If you don't have a heavy bag, if you have someone in your house who holds a kicking shield, hit them with the kicking shield. If there's nobody who's willing to do that, at the very least, hold out a pillow as a small target. So you do your 5 lunges, 5 front kicks, 5 lunges, 5 front kicks, then go get a drink, and then come on back and we'll get on with the rest of the class. Okay, you should be done with your warm-up. You should have got a drink, Tang Soo Do, week 3A. So Monday's class. We're gonna start off breaking down all 4 parts of Il Six Soo Do run number 2. Il Six Soo Do run, 1-step sparring. These are the traditional Tang Soo Do self-defenses. And if you think about it, every form we do is a series of little 1-steps. Okay, so if we start here, Il Six Soo Do run number 2, it starts, and I'll show this to you both ways. The first 3 parts, we did these last month. You're going to step forward. Somebody's throwing a punch. Step forward through Soko Chassi, center block, chop. Hands are going to come to cup and saucer on your back hip, which is the left one, chamber, side kick, land in Soko Chassi, block, turn to Chungal Chassi, chop. Then I'm going to do back leg, crescent kick, side kick, land in Chungal Chassi, center block, turn to Chungal Chassi, chop. Okay, so that's review. That shouldn't be new. We did that last cycle. You should have stripe tested on that last cycle. Okay, then I want to add a couple of techniques to this. The first one is going to be a spin side kick. So I'm going to start here in my guard stance. My left foot's forward, and I'll do this facing both directions. My left foot's forward means my right leg is in the back. That's the one that's going to be kicking. So I'm going to start here, turn, look over my shoulder, drag, side kick. So somebody said to me, so when I drag, should my chamber be there? No. If your side kick is there, your chamber has to be knee 45 degrees off it, so your hip and butt are facing the target. So if I start here and I chamber there, that means my side kick's going to be there. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to look. I'm going to drag this foot, but it's not going to come up till here. So I throw my side kick and land forward. And then I do the next one, same thing, go in the other direction. My left leg's in the back, it's going to kick, turn, drag, chamber it here. So my knee's 45 degrees off my target, and my butt and my heel are facing the target and kick. So going in the same direction as you. If I start here, my right leg's in the back, turn, drag, chamber, kick. Other leg, turn, drag, chamber, kick. Okay, so I want you to do a bunch of those, going back and forth. You don't need to watch me do them 14 times, but you might need to do them 14 times. So if you need to, pause the video. The thing to remember is whatever guard stance I'm in. When my left guard stance, it means my right leg is in the back. That means my right shoulder is going back, and my right leg is kicking. So do a bunch of those. And then the other thing we're going to practice, this is also in the first 1-step, but it's done differently in the second 1-step. So I'm going to start in left Chungal Chassi with a U-punch. So whichever foot is forward, that's the hand that's down. That's one's punching the height of my own solar plexus. The other one is punching the height of my throat. I'm going to come forward, hands chambered, knuckles together on the back hip, double punch. Okay, then that doesn't lend itself. I guess it does lend itself to going backwards, but it doesn't teach you anything if I'm doing it backwards to you. So coming forward, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to put that now into the 1-step. I'll explain what we're doing in every move, and I'll show it to you in both directions. So Il Six Soo Do run number 2, part 1. somebody throws a punch. Step forward, Soka Chasi, center block, chop the neck. 2, hands pull back to your left hip, side kick. As you land, they're throwing another punch. Land, Soka Chasi, center block, punch. Back leg, they're punching you. Crescent kick, use the crescent kick as a block. Side kick, as they land, they throw another punch. So again, I landed Soka Chasi, I block, I punch. Now they're coming straight down over the top. I'm going to step back to Soka Chasi, high block. Now I'm going to do spin side kick. So like when we practice this, my left leg is in the back, which means that's the one that's going to kick. So my left shoulder is pulling back, spin side kick, land in Soka Chasi, hands come to knuckles on the back hip, you punch. Okay, so look from the other direction, it looks like this. Step forward, center block, chop. 2, pull back, side kick, center block, chop. 3, crescent kick, side kick, center block, chop. Pull back, Soka Chasi, high block. Spin, side kick, hands, my right hip's going to be the back one, so my hands are going to come to knuckles on my right hip, land in Soka Chasi, and double punch, you punch, throat and solar plexus. Okay, so I want you to do that a bunch of times. So we'll do it a couple more times by the count. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. And going the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Okay, so this whole month we're working on speed. This week we're working on explosive speed. So we're going to do this, I want you to do this a few more times, but what I'm looking for is not to get from the beginning to the end as fast as you can. I'm looking for, as each attack comes, to explode from your guard stance and do the self-defense, which is going to mess up the counts a little bit, okay? Because the first attack, really what I'm doing, somebody throws a punch, I'm going to step in, I'm going to block, chop, kick. My next attack, they punch again, I'm going to block, chop, kick. Next attack, I block and chop. Next attack, I'm going to step back, come up under the chin, side kick, better than that, and block. So what I want you to do, we're going to chop the counts up so they match the self-defense that you're doing better in each move. And then I want you from your ready stance to explode into each phrase as if it was a self-defense. So I'm starting here. The first attacker comes and you go. Second attacker comes. Third attacker. Fourth attacker. Okay, so I want you to practice it like that. I want you to get each attack, the defense for each attack, to explode from your ready stance. Ideally, what you're going to do is somebody in your house is going to sit and they're going to go, go, go. Or better yet, somebody in your house is going to attack you with a punch and you're going to do the self-defense. Okay. If the other people in your house don't take karate, remind them that this would be a really good time to start because it's the beginning of a new cycle. So everybody's learning new stuff together. So they could even do their first few classes at home without even coming to a live class. It's cold out. You can wear your warm clothes to take class if you're taking class outside. If you don't want to be outside, come to class on Thursday nights. Thursday nights are inside. But this is a good time to start because it's the beginning of a new cycle. Everybody's learning new stuff. Okay, so we're going to put together now a sparring combo. And I'm going to call this a sparring combo, but I kind of hesitate to call it a sparring combo because it's got a knee in it, which makes it a beautiful self-defense combo. And if you're fighting Muay Thai or MMA, you're allowed to throw knees when you spar. In regular karate sparring, there are no knees. So we're going to do this as it's written, but I want you thinking self-defense the way that's written. And then we're going to change one of the kicks, which will make it a much nicer or much less offensive. The kids' thought for this month is student creed. Third part is student creed. I must use common sense before self-defense and never be abusive or offensive. Okay, somebody attacks you, throw knees. That's fine. It doesn't matter if you're abusive. But if you're sparring with somebody and you throw knees and you hurt them, that's just being abusive or offensive. So we don't want to go there. So we're going to start here in my guard stance. I'm going to throw a jab, which is my front hand. Rotate my foot a little bit. Jab. Knee. I'm not throwing this one from a clinch. Okay, they're just coming at me. So I'm throwing the jab. The knee is just to keep them at distance. I'm going to put my foot down and turn right to a roundhouse kick. Now we're talking about explosive speed. So where your explosive speed here is between the two kicks. So I kick, I touch down. As soon as my foot touches down, it comes right back up and I turn. So from your guard stance, jab, knee, roundhouse kick. Jab, knee, roundhouse kick. You can do it on the other side too. Probably won't be pretty when I do it on the other side. Jab, knee, roundhouse kick. Jab, knee, roundhouse kick. So then that makes it a nice self-defense combo. Like I said, if you do that sparring, you're going to get in trouble. But from a sparring point of view, a jab, which keeps you at distance. Person's coming at me. A jab. Now I'm going to throw a front kick, which is going to buckle them a little bit. So that foot's going to touch the floor and bounce off. And now their head's here, so I can roundhouse kick in the side of the head. If you have sparring feet on, they have helmet on, you use control, that's not abusive or offensive. It's tag, it's a point. Okay, so jab, front kick, round kick. Jab, front kick, round kick. Okay, so now what I would like you to do is find somebody who lives in your house with you and have them get a small target. Okay, a little pillow works as a target. Piece of paper, okay? Piece of paper, my notes for class, that works as a target. Something that you can just hold out in your fingers like that. And you're going to throw jab, front kick, round kick. Jab, front kick, round kick. Jab, front kick, round kick. Once you get going, I want them to start giving you less time to do it. So somebody's coming at you sparring. They're not going to go, hey, dude, here I come. Okay, punch me. Now I'm going to stand here, wait while you kick me. And I'm going to bend over and stand here, wait some more while you kick me in the side of the head. It's got to come fast. Okay, so you got to throw it that fast. So they're going to stand here and they're going to say go. And they're going to visualize in their head. Jab, knee, roundhouse kick. And then they're going to take the target away. Go, jab, knee, roundhouse kick. Take the target away. And your goal is to explode from when you see the target happen through the end of that combination and get through it as fast as you can and hit it every time before the target's gone. 10 times. If you love this drill, do it at least 10 more times. If you don't love this drill, do it 10 times anyway. Okay, then we're going to go on to forms. White belt, basic form 1. We're going to do the form and then we're going to pull something out of it to be a self-defense. So basic form 1 starts here. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, 3, 4. Then we do 3/4 turn. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. Towards the back. 1, look, chamber, step, block. 2, 3, 4. 3/4 turn. Look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. And back in the other direction. Look, chamber, step, block. 2, step and punch. And I'm going to do that one more time with my back to you. I find a lot of times if I'm working on a form from a video, it's easier if I can stand behind the person and follow, because if it's only facing front, I have to put the video on the kitchen table and then look over this way to make sure that I'm going the same direction as the guy in the video. So I'll do it once facing the same direction that you are. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'm shortening up my steps a little bit because the rug is slippery with my, the wooden floor is slippery with my socks. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, and back. Okay, so there's a million cool self-defenses that we can get out of that form. But right now, it's the first month, and I'm really hoping that family members who have not been taking karate, but have been sitting here watching you do these videos, hint, hint, are going to do the videos with you today. So we're gonna go back to the very basics of what the self-defense is here. I'm standing here minding my own business. Somebody comes charging at me. They're gonna attack my knee. I bring this hand up, step in, strike. So what I'm doing here, I'm calling this a block, but really what I'm doing is I'm taking this surface of my hand and I'm slamming it into this part of their knee. Okay, so I start here, they're coming at me, slam right above their knee, step in and punch them in the solar plexus. Attack's over, I'm good, I can go home now, okay? So same thing again, somebody's coming at you, block, punch. It would be good if you practice that with somebody at home. If you and people at home don't trust each other enough to not hit here, use a noodle or a pillow or something and hit that. Okay, so if you're a white belt, Tang Soo Do white belt, even if you're an AK black belt, if you're a Tang Soo Do white belt, that's what you're practicing. Orange, Tang Soo Do orange, 9 up and up. We're gonna go on to action karate, to basic form 3. We're gonna do the same thing that we did with basic form 1. I'll do it once in each direction. So it's look, chamber, step, block, 2, step and punch. I'm in Chungal Chassi. 1, look, chamber, step, block, 2, step and punch. Come into the front, look, chamber, step, block. Now, if you learned Shilsung last cycle, you came here for the next move. You don't do that in basic form 3. You're just bringing this hand up as an index. So 3 times horse stance and punch. 1, 2, 3. 3/4 turn, look, chamber, step, block, 2, step and punch. Look, chamber, step, block, step and punch. 1, 2, 3, here. 3/4 turn, look, chamber, step, block, step and punch. Look, chamber, step, block, step and punch, and back. Okay, so then from the other direction, it's going to look like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's really not in form. 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, and back. Okay, so just like basic form 1, as we get further into this, later in the cycle, there's a ton of cool self-defenses we can pull out of that. But there's some that are right there in your face when you start. So we're gonna do the first move. The whole reason for the cat stance is to get my head out of the way. See what happens? I'm not leaning, but by pushing my weight back, I'm getting my head out of the way. So somebody's coming at me with a punch. I'm just gonna get my head out of the way and block. I'm gonna turn and grab their hand. So when I do my next move, this hand's gonna come back as a chamber while the other one punches. So somebody's attacks, I come here, I block, I grab their hand, I pull their face in as I step and punch. So from here, it looks like this. They're coming at me, I block, grab the hand, pull it in, and punch. Look, chamber, step, block, grab the hand, pull it in and punch. It's the same deal. If there's somebody in your house who you can get to throw the punch at your head, sometimes it's better when you're doing this to do open hand, like swing at your head this way instead of throwing a punch, because that way if you don't block, it's not so offensive to get smacked upside the head as it is to get punched. But that's up to you. Okay, so beginners, you are practicing basic form 1. White belts are all practicing basic form 1. Beginners are practicing basic form 1, basic form 3. Advanced class, we are moving on to Pyongan Sadon, common peace of mind, stage 4. Okay, so we did, this part is not new. Look, chamber, step, block. Look, chamber, step, block. Left foot comes in, hands come to X on the right hip, block. Hands come knuckles on the left hip, back fist. Okay, that's where the song comes in. I'm not going to sing it to you, but I'm a little teapot, short and stout. This is how you remember what I know it's stupid, but it's going to remind you of the form. Here is my handle. Here is my spout. Then something, something, something. I don't remember the words. Tip me over and pour me out. So what I'm going to do, somebody's going to, on that side, I'm going to come in and bring my hands here. They're going to grab my hands. I'm going to pull my hands out of the way and bring this knee up as a check. That's the something, something, something as far as the words go. Tip me over and pour me out, which is not really what I'm doing, but it makes you think about what you're doing here. I'm going to throw a side kick. As I throw that side kick, it hits them. Their head's going to come forward. I rake the eyes. I re-chamber all the way back to my knee. I step back. So I'm in Chasi here. Grab their head, turn an elbow. Okay, so, and that's going to happen on both sides. So we'll do it on both sides here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm going to pull my left foot in, hands come to my left hip. They grab my hands. I pull them away and do a motion defense as I bring this knee up to keep a distance between them and me. Side kick, rake the eyes, re-chamber, step back, grab the head, elbow. Then same thing on the other side. The foot that's in the front stays there. The other one pulls in. Hands come to this hip, they grab, pull it away, kick and chop, turn, grab the head, elbow. That's the hardest part of this form, is figuring out where the feet need to go. That's why I did it facing away from you. So if you're having trouble with the feet, from here, this part, stop the video. Play that part again, follow what I'm doing. Stop it again, play it again, as many times as you need to. Figure out what your memory pegs are going to be for which hand and which foot it is. Okay, self-defense that we're going to do from that part of the form. Very first move, okay? Lots of things you could be doing. What I'm thinking of is somebody's right there and they're choking me. They're from the side. So I bring my hands up between theirs. I break the choke. This hand is breaking the choke, and I'm settling back into the cat stance so that my head is coming away from them. This hand is going to come up, forearm under their chin to strike here. So I'm here. They grab my throat. My hands come up. This one breaks the choke as I get my head out of the way. Now in the form, you stay here. From a self-defense point of view, I'm going to change my angles. But they choke, hands come up, break the choke as I lean away, and then come up under. And that move that we did under earlier in the class, when we did the step back Soko rip and do the high block in Il Succede round number 2, this is exactly what you're doing there. So somebody grabs, hands come up between theirs, get your head out of the way, break the choke, turn, forearm up under their chin. So Gups, you're practicing that. Dons, first Sip Su. We're going to go a little bit further. So here, hip. This part is not new. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the new part. 1. Somebody's choking. I'm stepping in. I'm dropping my weight, breaking the choke. Step out. Drop my hands down, they choke again. My hands are going to come back up through and out. So going sideways, it's going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's here. I can't. I'm coming here. I'm break the choke, drop my weight. Settle my weight, clear their hands out of the way. They're going to choke again. I come, bring my hands back here, hop, stomp, drop my weight. So my hands are going 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So the form from here, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, this is what you're doing from a self-defense point of view. In the form, it's going to stay right here. Clear. 2, 3. One more time. Yeah, I want to not run out of space. Here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, here, and back. Okay, self-defense that we're doing from here. Somebody is grabbing my throat. My hands are here. I'm going to bring my hands up between theirs, clear out of the way, grab their head and headbutt. I know that's not in the form, but you guys are black belts, so I don't have to be going back to the very beginning of the form. Somebody chokes. Hands come up. They clear. Grab, headbutt. Find somebody in the house that you can practice with. Okay, seconds and thirds, Yakro Edon. I'm going to do this one. This one is only straight lines, so I'm going to do it in the same direction that you're going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if I'm facing the same way as you, because as it occurs to me, part of it's facing the other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. First one's low. 5, center. 1, hands make a diamond. Sweep from the back hip. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. This is like right out of Basadai. 2, 3. My hands are coming here. I'm coming to a cat stance. I block up and down, and then I block wrists in and here. Okay, so I'm not going to give you guys are second and third degree black belts. I'm not going to give you a self-defense from that. I want you to figure one out. I want you to put together, find 2 or 3 moves in that you can use, like you would use do a one step. Okay, and then we're all going to go on and do a couple of self-defenses together. First one is from the white belt curriculum. Somebody grabs your wrist. This is basic as it gets. Okay, what's the first move of basic form 1? It's a low block. Okay, somebody grabs my wrist. My hand comes up. Make that low block. You hit the inside of the wrist and make them let go. So, if you're in a kids class, you'd say, I don't want any trouble. They're going to grab your wrist. Whichever hand they grab, I'm going to step back with the opposite foot. Because I step back with the same foot, it doesn't perturb their balance. But if they're hanging on here and I step back, stepping back with the foot on the same side. Because see what's going to happen to their balance? My hand comes up, touch my ear. Okay, so again, they grab your wrist. Same foot steps back, low block, punch. Maybe it makes more sense this way. They grab your wrist, step back, low block, punch. Okay, get somebody to grab your wrist. what I want you to do when you have somebody grab your wrist, you grab your wrist, step back with the opposite foot. See that nothing happens. Step back with this whichever hand they have, step back with the foot underneath it. There's a good chance they're going to let go and you're not even going to have to do the self-defense. Okay, one other self-defense that we're going to do. This one is called hidden sword. It's a Kempo defense. The Kempo defenses all have names for parts, swords, twigs, branches. Sword is your side of your hand and you're hiding it. Somebody start approaching me from the back, 2 hands like this coming up behind me. The first thing I'm going to do is squish their fingers. Then I'm going to take a tiny little step. I'm not stepping this way. If I step that way, I'm putting the fingers further into my throat. I'm keeping my body where it is and just putting this foot out. So the other one can tuck behind. Here's the sword. Hide the sword, turn, hit their arm. Okay, elbows want to bend this way. If their arm is here and you hit the elbow this way, their elbow's not going to bend. Now ideally, if the person who's in an ideal world, the person who is attacking you is your same height or shorter than you, so you squish their fingers, step behind, turn, move their hand off yours, punch them in the side of the head or the side of the neck. In the real world, you're going to get attacked by somebody who's bigger than you. That's not a really useful punch. So what I'm going to do in that case, I'm going to squish their fingers, step behind, turn. Okay, now this hand that hit their elbow is up, it's protecting my head, and I'm going to attack their floating ribs. It's not ideal, hitting them in the head would be better, but if they're much taller than you, the ribs are where you're going to get where you're going to hit with your target. Again, practice that with somebody in your house. To get credit for class, videotape you doing any one of those segments. If you have questions, send me the videotape. They should all come by Facebook Messenger. If you tag underneath, Mrs. McCoy or Miss McCoy will generally find it and give you credit for class. I can't find those even when I go looking for them. I can't get them to come up in my feed. So if you have, especially if you have questions for me, send it to me in Facebook Messenger. Talk to you guys later.